Okay, so what I'm going to be working on today is moving all those cardstock off of there, and I'm going to be moving them into these slots here, most of them, and also some here, which is just behind me where I'm crafting, so that I can have all those albums are going to go downstairs. I got a new calyx and most of them are going to fit down there. So I'd like to have some cardstock here so when I'm crafting, I don't have to go across my room to get some. So that's going to be some of the stuff that I move around. So I'm going to put you on my little tripod now, and we're going to get my cardstock organized. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is remove all the albums that I can, and I put them at the top of the steps, and then every time I go downstairs, I'll take, 3 to 4 albums. I can't take much more than that because they're pretty heavy. But then I'll take them to my calyx unit and get them downstairs. So I opened up about 9 spaces, and that's right behind where I craft. I also, the first spot that I showed you, that is where I used to keep a lot of albums, and I've also moved those downstairs, so I have a ton of those slots open. What I'm going to end up doing is moving a lot of those. When I organized my craft room, I did a lot of the collections, the new collections that I had bought. I put them in Ziploc bags, and I put some of them in those slots so that the collections are all together, and then when I want to scrap with them, I can use them. I didn't put them with my regular collections because they're new supplies and I want to make sure that I use them. Now I went to where I keep my cardstock now, and I grabbed one color. So those are all the greens that I have. But as you can tell, they are all over the place. Like all the greens are all messed up, and that's, when we moved into the house, I just grabbed the cardstock and I just put it on those shelves because I just had so much to unpack that I didn't want to take the time to separate my cardstock like I'm doing right now. So basically, I'm not being super specific, like I'm just putting the light cardstock together and the medium greens together and then the dark greens together. So at least when I put them on my shelf, it'll be from dark green to light green. And another way I'm going to store my cardstock, I'm going to store them in the rainbow colors. Even though I didn't start with the first color like red, that's okay because I'm just putting the cardstock on the shelf where I think green is going to end up, and then I can move them around. Another thing is I've already changed my mind. You'll see I show you a picture at the end what it looks like of how many I've done so far, and I've already decided because I cleared up 9 little cubby holes behind me. I think I'm going to put the bulk of my cardstock right behind me because that's, when I'm scrapping and I need some cardstock, I don't want to walk across my room to get it. I just want to turn around and grab whatever color I need. Another thing I realized today is this is not going to be done in one day. I was able to get the green ones separated and the orange ones separated, and it took me a little bit or close to an hour. And so, I have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink to do. I have 7 or 8 colors that I need to separate like that, and I have just as much cardstock as this. And the reason that I have so much cardstock is years ago I used to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and over the years, I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for close to 7 years. So over the years, I kind of build up quite a bit of cardstock. And now what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying not to buy cardstock and using the cardstock that I have. But you'd be surprised how many times that I just can't find the shade that I want. But what this is doing, it's making it that I tell myself, it's okay if you don't find the perfect shade of, green. As long as you're close, you need to use what you have. Now, thankfully, because my cardstock was at the very end of my room, it's not really close to sunlight. So I didn't get a lot of sunlight damage to my cardstock. If anything, it's on one side of the cardstock, right? It's the top one. And then what I do is I just flip the cardstock when I want to use it. And while I'm finishing separating the cardstock, I just want to talk to you about a couple of things. Right now I'm having my Scrapathon 5. It's going, well, it was supposed to go till March 31st, but I decided to extend it because of everything that's going on right now. Everything is so stressful, so I'm trying to do something that is, fun and that we can kind of chat together. I'm doing more lives on my Facebook group for Scrapathon 5, and what I decided to do is to offer Scrapathon 5 at an even greater discount. So the regular price for Scrapathon is $40. I had it at a discount of $30 until March 15th, but I'm going to bring it down to $20 until April 10th. And on top of that, I announced during the Facebook Live this morning that I'm going to keep Scrapathon going beyond March 31st. I don't know for how long, but there's going to be some extra videos and some extra Facebook Lives. Everyone had received 2 files, one of viewfinders and one of labels, as a thank you for taking the class. And this morning I gave everyone an extra 5. So I think there was 3 viewfinders and 2 labels. And these were all colors that were not available yet in my shop, so I knew that nobody had these colors yet. The link for the class is in the description box below under classes. Find my classes here. Now, to get back to organizing my cardstock, I know that this is not something that I'm going to be able to get done, like I said, in an afternoon, because it is quite time consuming to separate all these cardstock. And like I said, I wasn't being super picky, but by bringing up the cardstock to the other ones, I was able to see where it fit the best. And because I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I was buying a lot of my cardstock in packages of 25. So 20 or 25. So I do have a lot of the same colors. So it was easy to find some of the same colors to put together. And then when I was getting them ready to put on my shelf, I tried to go from darkest to lightest. So I think what I'll do for the next few days is every day I'll go upstairs and do one color. So I'll separate one color, and within 4 or 5 days I'll have them all done. I think in the long run, I think I'll appreciate that I did this, because I have to tell you, every time I did a layout and I was looking for a shade of green or a shade of blue and all the colors were all mixed up and all over the place, it was really hard to find the correct shade. Even if it wasn't the perfect shade, I always knew that I wanted either a dark orange or a light orange. I knew that I wanted specific tones, and it was really hard for me to find it. Okay, so you see me going downstairs. I just realized that I had these plastic dividers or plastic trays to put inside the slots to put my cardstock in, because when I actually put the cardstock in and was really full, I was like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to take that out very easily to find some, the right colors. But by using those little dividers, it actually is going to work really well. So that's it. That's the end of orange. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a few colors, one color every day until I have it done. I don't think I have enough of those plastic containers, but I'll use them as much as I have. And here's a picture of how it's going to look like once it's in on my shelf. And don't forget, Scrapathon 5 is on sale for $20 till April 10th. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe. Bye.